Hello and welcome to this LegalShield overview. First of all, I want to thank you for taking a few minutes to visit with us and hear about LegalShield. My name is Rob McKenzie and I live just north of Toronto on beautiful Lake Couchiching with my wife Charlene. We work our business together from our home and we like to call the lake Lake Couchiching, ka-ching, ka-ching. I'm here with Patty Davison-Smith from Vancouver. Patty?
Yes, and thanks so much, Rob. I'm glad to be here too. In fact, I'm really looking forward to spending a few minutes with all of you across Canada. My background, I was a corporate executive for over 10 years. With that position, I had the good fortune of living and working all over the world. I made a very nice living, but you know what? I had zero time freedom for my family or friends. After reading a book called The Popcorn Report by Faith Popcorn, I knew I wanted a home-based business because you know what she discussed in that book? The efficiency of a home-based business. It wasn't until LegalShield that I found a company that really resonated with me. My husband, Ken Smith, and I both work full-time from our home office in Vancouver, and we have built a strong six-figure income with our LegalShield business. And now, because of LegalShield, Ken and I have the time freedom I was always searching for. In fact, we can now do what we want, when we want, and with whom we want. Our biggest reward to date is to have that quality time with our family. And you know what else? We get to work with the best group of people anywhere in the world. Wouldn't you agree with that, Rob?
I couldn't agree more, Patty. And a little on my background, Charlene and I are parents of 5 and proud grandparents of 3, and we just celebrated our 38th anniversary. All of our children work and support us in our LegalShield business. Prior to LegalShield, I was a Toronto police officer for over 25 years. Charlene was a legal secretary and a stay-at-home mom. During those years, although I had a good job, I was always looking for a way to earn some extra income to help raise that large family. Prior to LegalShield, I had been involved in a few traditional and networking businesses. But when I found LegalShield, it was the service that grabbed me. We jumped in with a burning desire, we were coachable and willing to get to work. The extra income from LegalShield gave me the opportunity to take an early retirement, and then we earned a 6-figure income from home in our first 6 months. But maybe it was because of those years as a police officer that I saw the need for this service. I saw the injustice of the justice system. Many times I would attend someone's home or business and sit at their living room coffee table or at their kitchen table at their front desk, and they'd share with me a legal situation. And as a police officer, I would have to tell them they have to call a lawyer. And they said, no, I don't want to call a lawyer. And I'd say, well, why not? And they said, well, it's too expensive. The problem's not that big enough. Well, I said, it was big enough to call the police. Why'd you call the police? And they said, because you're free. They did have a point, Patty.
Yeah, that's true. But you know, it is true because everybody across Canada, actually everybody across North America needs our service. And that's why we want to spend some time with you today and talk to you about our LegalShield opportunity. You know, we need help. We need more people to help us get the message out about this great service. And you're going to hear more about the opportunity in a second. But in the meantime, Rob is going to go over more detail about the value of the service and how it can benefit you and your family.
Thank you, Patty. LegalShield is really about personal growth, a professional opportunity, and a powerful journey. Now, when I first looked at LegalShield, I knew there were 5 areas that we should evaluate looking at any opportunity. First of all, the company. Is it rock solid? Is there a need in the marketplace for the product that you're delivering? And is the compensation there, is it worth your time, and is the timing right for you? LegalShield is an established company with a very unique business model. We were established back in 1972 in Ada, Oklahoma. We presently cover 3.7 million lives across the US and Canada with a proprietary system of quality law firms covering those 49 states and 4 provinces. Those are Ontario, British Columbia, Alberta, and Manitoba. What I'd like to do now is show you a very short 2-minute video on LegalShield, and I'll be right back.
For more than 40 years, LegalShield has been revolutionizing the legal services industry. Revolutionizing the legal services industry that doesn't quite capture the personal, lasting impact we have made and continue to make on thousands of individuals' lives. Imagine having an everyday concern or question where getting the advice of a lawyer would be useful. Imagine the trauma of discovering that you are the victim of identity theft. Imagine encountering a situation where the advice of a lawyer is absolutely imperative. Now imagine addressing all that stress with one phone call. That's what we do for you at LegalShield. You can speak to a lawyer without the worry of having to pay a lawyer's typical fees. And together with our identity theft services, we provide you with a shield that results in powerful peace of mind. We were founded in 1972 by Harland Stonecipher. He had just endured his own stressful, costly encounter with the legal system after a car accident that was not his fault. He was determined to make legal protection available to everyone, everywhere. Today, we have evolved into the force for good that Mr. Stonecipher originally envisioned. Based in Ada, Oklahoma, we have approximately 700 employees with a customer service team of more than 300, all focused on calibrating the efforts of our dedicated law firms and approximately 6,900 lawyers in the United States and Canada. Each law firm is there for our members, providing the legal help they need when they need it. So, for one low monthly membership fee, you can pick up the phone to call a lawyer and get advice about any issue. We provide these legal services to families all across North America, answering approximately 40,000 calls per week for members. That's right, 40,000 times a week, we help smooth out the knots, kinks, and inconveniences in our members' lives. The lawyers at our firms average 19 years of experience and have been partnering with us an average of 13 years. They are friendly, warm, and dedicated to helping LegalShield members. And just as we partner with an expert law firm for our legal plans, we also partner with Kroll Advisory Solutions, the world-renowned leader in identity theft protection. That way, no matter what issue you might face, you're getting the help you need with LegalShield. What we do is simple. We work hard to make your life less complicated, less stressful, and more fulfilling. That's why with LegalShield, you can worry less and live more.
Welcome back. Wasn't that video great? Well, our vision is to provide equal access to the liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice that every North American deserves and expects. Our mission is to help people improve their lives by teaching life-transforming skills and to deliver exceptional products and services that promote peace of mind and confidence in a world that is often uncaring and selfish. What are others saying about LegalShield? Well, we've all heard of Yelp. Look at a 5-star rating with Yelp, an independent survey. I encourage you to go to Yelp, look up LegalShield, and see all the amazing stories that are there. We also have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau of Central Oklahoma, where our head office is located. Look at Consumer Affairs. We actually have a 4.9-star rating, so we can improve there a little, but that's really a great rating with Consumer Affairs. Is there a need in the marketplace? Look at this, 35 million hospitalizations and 96 million court filings. Now, this is in the United States, but think about Canada with about 10% of the population. Take those numbers down to 10%. It still means about 3 times more likely that you'll be in court than you will be in the hospital. And of course, we all pride ourselves on our hospitalization plan in Canada, but what's your legal plan? Let me ask you a couple questions, maybe to help you see the need for our services in the marketplace. Have you ever signed a contract or document that maybe you wish you hadn't signed? Ever been overcharged or treated unfairly and didn't know who to call? How about received one of those pesky traffic tickets? Or known a victim of identity theft? How about have you ever been in a situation where you thought the advice of a lawyer might have been useful or the outcome would have been different if you had sought legal advice? We have over 2 million requests annually, so the system is working. Here's how it works. First of all, you get legal advice on a limited number of issues, both personal and business related. During business hours, you can pick up the phone and call your law firm about any legal issue. No problem is too small. No problem is too large. You can pick up the phone and find out what your advice is. You see, we have a saying, if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. So pick up the phone and call and use your LegalShield membership. This next area, 24/7 emergency access, I'm very passionate about. As a former police officer, I know that this is needed by every person out there in the marketplace. To be able to call an emergency situation, like you've been in a serious car accident, you've maybe been arrested or detained, children's aid shows up at your door. But in emergencies, you can call an emergency number and get access to lawyers in minutes. I know I would not let my family out of the house without this coverage. Also, letters and phone calls made on your behalf to a third party. And how about contract and documents reviewed up to 10 pages? Again, unlimited number of times. Let me share with you a few times how we've used this membership myself. As a matter of fact, one of the first times I ever used it, I took my brand new car in to be serviced, and it was under warranty. And they said, well, we have to do some warranty work on it. And of course, that's covered. I said, well, it should be. It's a brand new car. But when I picked up my car, there was a bill for $112.86. I said, well, what's that for? Did I do something wrong? And they said, no, but we had to do some alignment work when we did the warranty work. I said, well, I shouldn't have to pay for that. And they said, well, that's our policy. I said, get the manager. You ever done that before? The manager came over. I talked to him. Exactly the same thing. It's our policy. And I said, well, I don't like your policy. I'm going to call my lawyer about this. And he laughed at me. He chuckled. Why do you think he laughed? Because it was $112.86. You're not going to call a lawyer for $112.86 unless you have a LegalShield membership. So I did that. I went home because I didn't know my rights. So I got legal advice. They then said, do you have the service contract there that you could fax over to us? And I said, I can fax that down to you. So I got the contracts and documents reviewed. And then they said, the lawyer said, Mr. McKenzie, can we write a letter on your behalf to this particular automobile manufacturer? I said, you sure can. Well, they wrote that letter and I got my $112.86 back. But what's interesting is how many other people paid the $112.86 over the hundreds and hundreds of times. You see, if you don't know your rights, you don't have any. How about a bigger situation? This does cover family members. My son was involved in a very serious car accident. And there were other people that were injured in that accident. It was 4 cars. When he got out of the car, he was the young driver, and he was profiled as being the young driver. Everybody was pointing the finger at him for causing the accident, even though he was trying to avoid an accident which actually caused one. When the police officer talked to him, he asked, officer, could I please contact my lawyer? The police officer said back to my son, it's a Sunday afternoon. Who are you going to get on a Sunday afternoon in cottage country? And he said, well, I have LegalShield. The police officer obviously didn't know what that was and said, go ahead. Well, my son got the lawyers on the phone. The lawyers asked to speak to the police officer, and I don't know what was said. I was not there, but I do know my son walked away from there without being charged. What is the value of that? Priceless. Let me give you one other situation. My dad had a membership, and I immediately wanted to make sure my mom and dad were covered with the membership. And he got sold some windows at his door for his house that were way overpriced. Now, he was in his 80s, so I think he was a little confused. And he gave them a small deposit of about $300 cash. And there was a remaining bill of about $3,000. I thought this was way overpriced, so my dad called the lawyers. They said, well, you have a certain amount of time before you can get your money back. But I said, they won't return my calls. So they wrote a letter on my dad's behalf. He got his full refund and apology letter from that window company. I'm so glad we had LegalShield to cover our family members. How about situations that we know we've been putting off over and over again, like preparing our wills and power of attorney? We know we're never going to die. Well, of course we will. But this is included in our membership, and annual updates are covered as well. I know when Charlene and I got this done, we felt so much better that we had updated our will because it had been over 10 years since we had done that. You can get it done with your LegalShield membership as well. What about those other situations that, maybe get into bigger things like adoption, divorce, pre-existing issues, buying a business, purchasing a home, etc., etc. We get a huge discount. I challenge you to go to the yellow pages, flip through there. You're not going to see a 25 to 33% discount for lawyers. It just doesn't exist. But we have it with LegalShield. Now, who's covered? The entire family is covered. You, your spouse, never married, dependent children under the age of 21, living at home, dependent children who you have legal guardianship for up to 18 years of age, and this was a big one in our household, full-time college students up to the age of 23, no matter where they live in North America, are covered as long as they're still dependent on you, and any physically or mentally challenged children you have living in the home are covered for life. Now, if you were a lawyer, what would you have to charge for these services? Now, remember, it's open-ended. Well, we know that most lawyers charge $250 or more per hour. Start adding up. Now, remember the 24/7 coverage as well. I think you'd have to agree with me, it could be thousands and thousands of dollars per month. But with a LegalShield membership, it's just $26 a month for not a lawyer, but an entire law firm in every province in North America. What are others saying about LegalShield? Well, here's an article from the Canadian Bar Association to the Justice Committee. And it says, the state of access to justice in Canada is abysmal, and it's getting worse. Inaccessibility to justice hurts us all, as a growing number of middle-class Canadians who suffer from it can attest, but its harshest consequences are visited upon the poorest and most vulnerable people in our communities. Over the next 3 years, 45% of Canadians will encounter a legal problem, and many will not get the help they need because of the perceived or actual barriers. What is that? The cost. The color of justice is green. Let's talk about identity theft for a minute. We all know that identity theft is a major problem. Identity theft is repeatedly a #1 top consumer complaint in North America. Did you notice that picture and the driver's license changed right before your eyes? It's happening every day. Identity theft manifests itself in many different ways. We all think it's just about credit cards, but what about your social insurance, your driver's license, your medical, or character criminal? These are all serious situations. As a matter of fact, just a short while ago, I had one of the banks call me up, and they wanted to market an identity theft product to me. And I said, well, you'll cover all my information to do with the bank, like credit cards and bank accounts? And they said, oh, absolutely, Mr. McKenzie. And I said, what about if my social insurance is compromised? And they said, oh, we can't help you with that. I said, well, if my driver's license is compromised? They said, no, you'd have to call the ministry about that. What about medical? No, not that. Well, what if I'm arrested because of identity theft? They said, well, you'd have to call a lawyer for that. And I said, absolutely, thank you very much, but I'm already covered. We've partnered up with a company called Kroll. Kroll provides the identity theft services exclusively to LegalShield members. Kroll is the world's leading risk consulting firm with Fortune 500 clientele all around the world, and they are prepaid and ready to advise us. How does it work? Well, first of all, you get an expedited consumer credit disclosure. You get consultation on that disclosure and unlimited identity theft consultation. But the #1 reason we have this membership is for identity restoration. What does that mean? Well, if your identity is stolen, you have a situation where you call Kroll. You will sign a limited power of attorney over to Kroll to take over the investigation. Now, if you sign a limited power of attorney, you should get your lawyer before you sign anything like that. So you send that over to your lawyers, let them review it, then you sign it. Kroll takes over that investigation for you. Whether it takes 2 hours, 2 months, or 2 years, start to finish, they look after that situation until your identity has been restored to pre-theft conditions. That's incredible value for you and your family, and definitely reduces the worry in your family. 70% of identity thefts incur legal issues, so you can see where our two products come together, giving you protection and peace of mind for just $35.95 a month. That's correct, folks, $35.95, just over $1 a day to look after your entire family for legal and identity theft issues. Now look at this, folks. You don't want your family to be without this. Tap the app, call, and get access to your provider lawyer, to the identity theft advisor at Kroll, to our member services, and most importantly, look at that red button, the 24/7, 365-day emergency access for all the covered items that I talked about. You definitely want your family to have this app on their phone as soon as you get your membership so that they're covered in those emergency situations. So what is our goal? Is to sign up every family for a legal plan and identity theft plan in North America. Right now we service about 3.7 million lives, and over 34,000 companies offer our services as an employee benefit. To talk about the opportunity, I'd like to bring Patty back to go over that. Patty?
Wow, great stuff, Rob. Thank you so much. What an amazing overview of the value of our service. And those of you watching this right now, I'm sure you will agree that our membership is valuable. In fact, you or someone you know probably could use our membership right now, at least to get your will done. I believe that's the highest monetary value of our service. In fact, I like to say I would rather have this membership and not need it than to need it and not have it. So let's move on to what our second goal in the company is. And I love this goal. It's to create more millionaires than any other company on the face of the planet. That's a pretty lofty goal. I'm sure you'll all agree. And you know, right now we have over 190 Millionaire Club members and several hundred six-figure earners with their LegalShield business. Some of those people are part-time. And so we'll be able to show you exactly how you can join our team and be part of the evolution of the Canadian marketplace. That's what we're super, super excited about. But you know, when I'm sitting down with someone and sharing our membership and sharing our LegalShield business opportunity, I usually get about 3 top questions. So to begin with, I just want to cover those 3 questions that I get all the time. The first is, you know, Patty, this sounds really good, but how much is it going to cost me to get started? The second question I get all the time is, how do I do this business? What kind of background do I need? Do I have to have a legal background? Do I have to have a business background? And we're going to answer that as well, because absolutely no, you do not. In fact, we have people with no education and we have people with PhDs. So it doesn't matter what your background is. The third question I get all the time is, how much can I earn? I mean, that membership seemed like such a small amount of money. Is there any money in it for me? And so those are the things that we're going to cover for you today and much, much more. So first of all, to get started in your business, it's just a one-time fee of $249. Now, when I got started, that $249 has paid itself over and over and over again because I earn 6 figures a year with my LegalShield business. So what you're going to get for that $249 is, number one, you'll get your business in a box. It's going to give you everything that you need to effectively be able to build your business. It's going to also include a comprehensive training program. You're going to get support from local field leadership, from your sponsor, from corporate home office. There's webinars, there's calls, there's everything you need to be able to earn and learn as you build your business. You get a support system. We have over 600 employees at our home office that are there to assist you if you need it. And then we also have a benefits plan. And you know, for $249, when I think about what we spend money on these days, I mean, that is such a ridiculously low price. Just go and try and buy a pair of dress shoes. I mean, it's going to cost you more than to start an international business. So let's answer one of the other questions, which is, how do I do this business? You know, do I have to go to a huge learning curve or take a training course, or how quickly can I earn money? Well, we have a system at LegalShield, and that's what it really impacted me. Because when I got started, I wanted to be able to earn money right away. I didn't want to learn and wait and kind of make it happen over and over and over. So what I wanted to do was to be able to get started in my business and go out right away and share the service with the people I knew and get referrals. So first of all, we have, as I mentioned, all the websites that are there with the training for you. It does the talking for you. You can just share a link with somebody and they can look at the information, kind of like what you're doing right now. You're watching this DVD and Rob and I are doing the presentation for you. Do you think you could sit down and just share this DVD with someone else? You can just sit there and smile and nod. That's exactly what I did when I got started. We have social media and we have a whole campaign to show you, if you're one of those individuals that love social media, you're going to love the social media aspect of your LegalShield business and building it into the systems. We also have flip books like what you're watching right now. You'll be able to sit over coffee with someone and just share this information. We have 3-way conference calls, so somebody with more experience than you can get on a call and just answer the questions. And so it goes back to what I was saying. earn as you learn. In fact, when I first got started with my LegalShield business, I would get an expert on the phone all the time, and I would have a pad and paper and take notes on how they answered the questions so that I could be more effective in my LegalShield business. And then we also have in-home presentations. You could have a private business reception in your home, and then we have business briefings. In most major cities across Canada, we have weekly briefings that can actually explain what you're seeing right now in a live environment. We have luncheons, we have breakfasts, and I like to say to people, you know something, what's great about this business is that you're in business for yourself, but you're not in business by yourself, and that's exactly what we do at LegalShield, and you become the messenger, not the message. Let us build your business for you. All you have to do is introduce us to the people that you know. That's what's so great about LegalShield. The other thing is we're so unique in our company because it's not a one-size-fits-all. In fact, some of you might be looking for just some part-time income, maybe an extra $500 or $1,000 a month by building a small team, and I'm going to show you in a second exactly how that money can work for you. But others of you watching this, maybe you have more of a professional background and you like the idea of being part of our business solutions. And what that means is that you can learn how to go out and call on companies and offer our service as an employee benefit for a reduced rate, or service them with the small business plan, which actually covers the business entity. And we can actually show you exactly how to do that. In fact, when you get started, the person who invited you to watch this video, they're going to be able to sit down with you and design a game plan that fits in what your goals and aspirations are. All you need to do is share with us, you know, what do you like best about LegalShield? How many hours a week do you have to put into your LegalShield business? How much money would you like to make to start with? So in other words, if you said, I would really like to, on a part-time basis with 10 or 15 hours a week, make $1,000 a month. So if that were the case, I would say to you, listen, if I could show you how to earn $1,000 a month in your first 90 days, just by following the system and with my help, your people, my presentation, are you ready to get started? And you know, most people say, heck yes, this just makes total sense. So we're going to be able to do that for you. But let's talk about the money. And of course, some of you watching this are very analytical and you probably want a little bit more information than I'm going to give you. And we'll be able to answer those questions. But probably the majority of you, when you see all these numbers right now, you're going, oh my goodness, what does all this mean? So I'm just going to break it down to a really easy system for you. The commission structure I'm about to share with you is based on our $35.95 a month plan, which is our $26 legal plan and our $9.95 identity theft add-on. If you choose to sell a different plan in the Canadian marketplace, the commission will change slightly. So please get together with the person who shared this DVD with you, and they'll be able to print out the commission structure for the plans that you're most interested in. Basically, there's three main ways we get paid. The first way is what you get paid when you personally market a plan. So as you move up in the compensation plan, you're going to make more money for doing the same thing. So you do the work, you get paid. So you're going to make anywhere from $90 as a brand new associate all the way up to $252 at our top executive director position. So that's the first way. The second way we get paid is that you're going to get team overrides. In other words, when you choose to build a marketing team, the company is going to pay you for helping that team market memberships and duplicate the process. So what we mean by that is you're going to show somebody how to show somebody and build a marketing team. So you'll actually really be the CEO of an international company, because even if you don't know somebody in the United States right now or in other cities in Canada, you will know somebody who knows somebody across Canada and throughout the United States. So you're not restricted to your city or province. You can actually build your business across North America. You can market memberships across Canada and throughout the United States. So the team override works that when you get your first promotion from associate to senior associate, you're now eligible for team overrides. So you can make as much as $18 when a junior associate on your team markets a membership. The team override aspect really is leverage. And you know, when I first looked at LegalShield, I didn't understand this part of the compensation plan because I was so used to exchanging time for money. I was just only understood if I go to work, I get paid. But with this compensation plan, we can show you how to buy your time back. That's what was important to me. I wanted to learn how to build a marketing team across North America so I could buy my freedom back. And I'm sure many of you are thinking the same thing, how valuable that would be. And so I'm going to actually just give you an example of how those team overrides will work. Let's say you got to about the middle of our compensation plan. So that's at the senior manager position. As a senior manager, when you market a membership, and let's say you introduced me, maybe you took me to your local business briefing, I listened to the information, I said, gosh, this sounds fabulous, I need that membership, I'm looking for an additional profit center, I'm looking to make some extra money, and so you, first of all, you market the plan to me, that $35.95 a month plan that Rob just shared with you, and as a senior manager, you're going to make $144. That's your advance commission because the company is going to pay you 12 months up front for selling membership. So that gets very, very lucrative. So now I'm an associate on your team. And so your job is to work with me and help me market membership. So I sell my friend Joe a membership. The company pays me $90. Well, guess what? The company is going to pay you over $54 because I sold my friend Joe the membership. So let me just share how that can actually add up. What if over time as a senior manager, you just had 10 associates on your team that sold one membership? Do you know what that would mean? You would make over $540, and that are to people that you probably don't even know. So that's how the leverage works. And you know something? Never again will I ever do anything that did not involve, number one, leverage, and number two, residual income, which brings me to the third way we get paid, and that means you're paid for the life of the membership. So when you market the membership the first time, as I mentioned, you get that money up front. Well, starting in the 13th month, when your client pays their monthly fee directly to LegalShield, not to you, you will start to earn a percentage of what you got the very first time. And it's not just on your personal sales, it's on the sale of what your team does as well. So again, it's like compound interest. And that was another part of the plan that I really did not understand until I started seeing it go into my bank account. We get paid every single day. So you can actually budget your business. This is phenomenal. You can decide, okay, gosh, I need to make this much money as quickly as possible. So we can say, okay, at what compensation plan level you're at, how many memberships do you need to sell to make that $500 yourself? Or how many new people do I need to bring on to help that happen? Before I move on, I just want to explain our Fast Start program. That means that you can move from associate to senior associate, and all you need to do is sell 3 memberships and then just have one of those individuals decide to join you in the business and become a marketing associate as well. They pay their $249, and that will move you to the senior associate, and you will also get a pay raise, and that will also put you in a position to start to earn the team override on that associate you just recruited into your business. Let me share with you an example of how the overrides can work for you. Let's say you get to the position of senior director and you have associates on your team. And let me show you how that might work. Over time, all you want to do is just recruit 3 people. And then, of course, you're going to teach those people to do the same thing with our help. So those 3 people each go out and recruit 3 people. There's a total of 9. Those 9 people will do the same thing. So on your 3rd level, that's a total of 27 associates on your team. If you add that up, that's 39 associates that are part of your marketing team. And as senior director, let's say those 39 associates, all they did was market one of those plans, $35.95 a month plans per month. Your overrides on that would be over $1,400. And let's say that those 39 individuals, all they did was just market one of those plans per week. Your overrides on those membership sales would be over $5,600. $5,600 a month, that's more than the national Canadian average for a full-time income. But let's take it to the top. Let's take it one step further and show you what the potential could be. Let's say that over time, you had 39 associates on your team, and all they did was market one of those $35.95 a month plans per day. Your overrides would be, as a senior director, over $42,000 a month in overrides. And you know, we already have dozens of marketing associates across North America that are doing exactly the same thing, and you can too. In fact, our company has paid over $1 billion in commissions in the past decade. And you know, we have in place our Vision 2020, where we want to increase that tenfold. So we're looking to pay $10 billion in the next 10 years or less, and you can be part of that as well. Let me just share that we have Performance Club. Performance Club is an extra way that you can build your business, teach your people to do the same thing, and you get paid and rewarded for it. So for example, I already talked to you about Fast Start qualifying, so you're going to do that in month 1. So the goal is to get 5 points. And how do you get those points? Well, every time you market a membership to an individual, you get a point. Every time you recruit a new marketing associate onto your team who pays the $249, you get 2 points. And so your personal goal is to do that every single month, just the bare minimum of 5 points every single month, and then also teach your team to do the same thing. That's what's going to build a solid base for you as your business expands and grows. So in month 4, after getting those 5 points, you're going to get special recognition. Then in month 8, you're going to get a $150 one-time bonus. You keep going with those 5 points. In month 12, the company is going to deposit an extra $300 into your bank account above all the commissions you've already made. Or you can take delivery of a BMW and the company will put $500 into your bank account instead of $300. Also tied in with Performance Club is the opportunity to qualify for a trip to exotic places just by going out and meeting the standard of what LegalShield puts in place for us. In fact, my husband and I have already had the great fortune of earning our trips to Cancun several times, Maui, Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, just to name a few. In fact, our Platinum World and the Platinum Executive Directors in our company is the top 1% of achievers. And they go to even more exotic places. They've already been to London, England, as an example. Rome is on the agenda, but what's really exciting is that the 2016 Olympic Games in Rio de Janeiro, they can qualify for that as well. So not only traveling the world together, but just the associations of being with like-minded people. Let's talk about timing, because I think timing is so important in LegalShield. We like to say the T in timing is more important than the T in talent. In the year 2000, we had barely scratched the scratch. Look at Canada, less than 1% market penetration. In fact, 10 years later, it didn't change that much. Obviously, in the United States, a few states increased their market share. But remember, I talked about Vision 2020 and where we're going with LegalShield, and we really have a focus on helping every family, every business across North America get this plan. Look at what the projection is for the year 2020. This is amazing, because to have a service that everybody starts to hear about, they're all of a sudden going to say, you know what? I've been hearing about LegalShield. I've been meaning to get it. And so you will be right in the right position to be able to market those plans to anybody that needs it, and everybody will need it. Let me just share when a product or service hits that magical 2% market penetration. That's when people start to hear about our service. That's when people start to hear about a product. It's sort of like happened with home computers and cell phones and iPhones. It's like everybody all of a sudden heard that, hey, I've been hearing about this. I want to get this. In fact, the example that you see is in the United States, they have a medical called HMOs. It took them 10 years to hit that 2% market penetration. And then people started realizing this is a good deal. I want to get this. And so it only took 7 more years for them to hit a 52% market penetration. In fact, USA Today, an American newspaper, they did an article. I love this quote. They said, to us, It sounds like healthcare coverage before it turned into a trillion-dollar industry. Now that is exciting. Everybody watching this, you either are or know somebody in the insurance industry. I mean, we're talking life, car insurance, medical. Everybody has that type of insurance. But look at the legal service industry. We haven't even scratched the scratch. And you know something? LegalShield will be the owner of the legal services industry in North America. And I am so pumped to know that we are in the right place at the right time. So in wrapping up, I just want to share why people are joining us, why I joined LegalShield, why other people are joining LegalShield. Number one, they believe in the service. They believe in the product. And that is first and foremost. I believe that if you see the value in the service, you're going to tell people about it anyway, whether you get paid or not. Number two, people join us because they want more income. I mean, gosh, you know, it gets so expensive to do anything. I know that my little 4-year-old grandson, he plays ice hockey. He's with a goal to be in the NHL. And it's so expensive to send him to ice hockey and get all the gear and all the equipment. So those of you watching with children, you know what it's like to put your child in a sport and how expensive it can be. So these are some of the things, the reasons people are joining us, so that they can actually give their family more than you can afford right now. And people join us because they want more time freedom. That's why I joined LegalShield, because I made great money, but I didn't have enough time freedom. People join us because they want personal and professional growth. And you know something? I don't believe there's any company on the planet that offers more personal and professional growth than LegalShield. I have grown so much in this company in the time I've been with them, and I know I'm going to grow more because we always aspire to be the best that we can be. And people join us because they just love the associations. They love being around the people that they're with. And I say some of my best friends are in LegalShield, and if it wasn't for this company, I definitely wouldn't know them. Okay, let me just wrap up with some action steps for you. Number one, become a member. We believe the membership is for everyone. Use the membership. Get your will done. Get your will updated. As I mentioned earlier, it's the biggest monetary value of our service. But you know something? When you have this service, you're going to use this service all the time. Number two, become a marketing associate and join our team. With our goal of hitting that Vision 2020, we need more people to help us get the word out, not just here in Canada, but across North America. So if you do have any extra questions, we want to make sure you get those questions answered today. And then get trained. As I mentioned, you do have online training. There's classroom training in every major city across Canada. You can actually meet some of the other leaders and learn what it is that they did to become successful in their LegalShield career, and then earn commission. Our goal for you is to help you get paid and promoted as fast as possible, and then build your team. We would like you to get on Performance Club and help your team get on Performance Club. So we appreciate you watching this DVD. I'm excited for you that you now know about LegalShield and the opportunity, and I look forward to meeting you in your city in the not too distant future. Bye for now.